Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology. So this one will be the last video of chapter 13 and we're going to talk about the birth control. So birth control, that means 控制生育啦, alright? So birth control is very important before we actually carry out sexual intercourse. 咁進行呢一個嘅sexual intercourse 之前啦 we need to think carefully. 咁就例如係do we have the ability? Do we have the willingness? OK? 咁就包括係 do we want to care about the children 啦，包括佢哋嘅 health 啊 ，do we have the ability？ 包括係 financial 嘅 condition 啊，即係例如個經濟狀況啦。OK? So this thinking process we call it the family planning， 有一個計劃啦。OK? So in case we do not want to have babies or children, but we want to carry out this sexual intercourse. In this case, we need to practice birth control 啦 ，OK? To avoid your pregnancy 啦 ，OK? 咁 another word for birth control, you also need to know this word. It's called contraception. Contraception 自己讀啦 ，OK? So this actually helps the couples to achieve their goals. OK? So some couple may not be not wanting children at all. Some of them may be like, I don't want children this year because I already have one daughter. OK? 可能佢已經有一個 and she wants to wait like 1 to 2 more years to have another offspring, to have another child. Alright? So there are lots of reasons. OK? But when we talk about birth control, there are 3 approaches. OK? 我哋會講到3個 approaches 嘅。approaches 即係代表方向。Alright? 方向3個方向啦。Okay, so let's get started. This one, the first one, we called it the ovulation. Prevent ovulation. That means the ovary cannot release the ovum. Alright? The next one, prevent sperm meeting the ovum. 簡單嚟講, prevent fertilization. The last one, prevent implantation of embryos. Okay? So 3 approaches. One of them, the first one, ovulation, prevent. The next one, prevent fertilization. The last one, implantation. And you can also put down a number 1, 5, 1. Okay, so there are in total 7 ways to help you carry out birth control. 有7種方法嘅。Alright, 1, 5, 1. Okay, let's get started. 第一樣嘢啦 the first one, prevent ovulation. This one is often heard. 經常性聽到嘅 It's called the contraceptive pills. 呢一個係一個 hormonal method. 指到一字 hormonal. Hormonal, that means it is related to hormones. 佢係同你嗰個荷爾蒙啦，同你嘅激素係相關嘅。Okay, so this hormonal method is called the contraceptive pills. 自己讀啦，得唔得？ So this contraceptive pills, can you calculate very quickly how many pills are here? So there are in total 28 pills. 有28粒啦。So what's so special about this 28? These 28 pills are actually related to your menstrual cycle, right? Okay, so somehow after you eat these 28 pills, your ovary will not be able to give out ovum, will not be able to release an ovum. Alright, 呢個就係 contraceptive pill 嘅一個function 啦。Alright， 好啦 ，so 又講多少少咯。So contraceptive pills are taken daily. So every day, if you want to prevent yourself from releasing an ovum, you start from here. You can see the green area, right? So you start from here, and then each day you eat 1 contraceptive pill, and then you continue until you reaches this white pill. So what exactly is this white pill? Is that there is no more drug inside. Someone says that there is only, it's like sugar candy. Alright, 淨係一粒糖嚟嘅啫。But why does it need you to continue eating? It's because to make sure that you keep this as a habit. 係你會令到你養成一個習慣嘅。Okay, so from day 1 to day 28, you keep on eating 1 pill a day. That's all. So inside this contraceptive pill 喺一個嘅避孕丸入邊啦 there is this synthetic 即係代表人工製造嘅，得唔得 ？synthetic 嘅一個嘅sex hormones，OK？synthetic 嘅 sex hormone 啦 which prevents 就會防止咗啦 formation of 呢個 mature ovum. Therefore, no ovulation. OK? Therefore, 呢一個 method 就會係一個 hormonal method 嚟嘅。Alright? 好啦，然後再講啦喎。And then there are also other hormonal contraceptives. 有其他嘅方法啦，有啲其他嘅避孕方法啦 ，contraceptives. So, for example, patches 啦，你好似 just like mosquito patches 啦，係黐落去嘅啦 ，injection 啦，打針落去嘅啦 ，implantation 啦，植入去嘅啦。Alright, so they are just like contraceptive pills. I just don't mind that. But however, we know that eating these contraceptive pills may have some side effects. 自己讀一讀啦 ，side effects 即係代表係啲副作用啦。For example, nausea 你會覺得暈㗎啦 ，you will have headache 啦，你會頭痛啦，重咗嘅 ，you will also grow fat. OK， 因為 what is the reason? The reason is that it affects your hormone. 佢影響咗你嘅荷爾蒙 ，alright? Because they are the synthetic sex hormones, right? Okay, so therefore you may seek for medical advice before using these pills. And one more thing is that the effectiveness is the lowest. Not the lowest, it's the second lowest. 係第二低嘅。Alright? So which one is the lowest? We are going to talk about that now. 好啦 the next one 啦就開始 another approach 啦。The second approach 就係 prevent 呢一個嘅 fertilization，prevent 呢個 sperm 啦 from meeting the ovum 嘅。The first one 第一種方法啦 ，we call this the rhythm method。Rhythm 就好似韻律咁樣啦。OK， so just like melody，rhythm 就係一個 song 啦 ，rhythm of the song，right？Rhythm method 咁我哋就會叫做中文 do not mind that。OK， 簡單嚟講啦，就係 we need to avoid sexual intercourse during certain time。要避免有呢個 sexual intercourse 啦，係 during a certain period of time。呢個 period of time 係幾時啊？就係 during the fertile period。Okay, so earlier when we talk about this fertile period, usually 就會係 a few days before 可以寫啊，可以甚至講清楚少少咯。5 days before and 2 days later than ovulation. Alright? Usually it's like that. Okay, related to the survival of sperm and ovum, right? So this is the fertile period, which is the very likely for the sperm and ovum to fuse and form a zygote. 或者簡單啲啦 to be fertilized. Okay? So we need to avoid sexual intercourse during this period so that they will not have the chance of meeting each other. Okay? They will not have the chance of meeting each other. 好啦，然之後啦 So how is this calculated? There are two ways. 有兩種方法嘅。It can be estimated. Okay? 淨係純粹係預測嘅啫。Estimated. So how do I know? First of all, you must know this one. It's the state of menstruation. 幾時開始嘅 It must be day 0, right? And your ovulation will be 14 days. 14日之後啦 right? So this period minus 5 plus 2. Okay? 你會計到呢段時間啦 This one should be the fertile period. Okay? This is the first method. 係第一種嘅方法啦。呢個 This method is called the calendar method. Okay? 月曆法啦 Calendar 係月曆啦。So you track 即係就會追蹤翻啦你嘅 menstrual cycles. Okay? Ovulation usually 係幾時啊 14 days before next menstruation 或者14 days after your menstruation 啦。Okay? So this period, fertile period, avoid that. Another method 另外一種方法啦就係叫 temperature method. 咁 temperature method 係咩嚟嘅咧？就係關於你個溫度啦 alright? So every day in the morning, OK 只可以寫啊 in the morning, you check your basal body temperature. 簡單嚟講就係你嘅基本體溫啊 alright? 你每一日朝早嘅體溫啊 for several menstrual cycles. And then if that day 嗰一日 there is a sudden small rise in body temperature. 突然間 there is a small rise, then that means ovulation has just taken place. Okay? 只係嗰一日啫。So as you can see, ovulation takes place here, day 14, right? And then your temperature rises. Okay? But the problem is, you cannot tell any you cannot tell this period. 你唔能夠知道呢段時間。You cannot tell if this period is ovulation at all. Okay? 所以啦 therefore the bad side is that 佢只能夠 detect 到 ovulation 啦 and there is a small rise in temperature. 但係 but it fails to predict the fertile period before ovulation. So try to remember this sentence as well. 要去記一記呢句句子啦 because sometimes we may ask you to compare 去比較返 different contraceptives 比較返唔同嘅避孕方法 and you need to tell me how do I use this Reproduction method, okay? And then what are the good and bad of this Reproduction method? 得唔得？You need to know the details, okay? 好啦，最尾啦actually one more thing is that you can just write it down. This is not very important, but you can write it down. The last thing 就 other than 呢個 calendar method 啊，同埋一個嘅 temperature method 之外咧 there is the last method 就係by咩咧？就係 checking 呢一個嘅texture， 即係代表個質地啊嗰個感覺啦 ，texture of 呢個 cervical muscle 嘅 cervical that means your 子宮頸啦嘅 muscle. So normally during 或者 around 啦 during ovulation 或者 around ovulation 啦。Around ovulation, the mucus, we know that there is mucus in your vagina and the cervical muscle, right? So the mucus will become more watery. 即係令到係會水性啲嘅 It will become less sticky, alright? But again, as you can see, there is no strict guidelines. 係冇一個好肯定嘅準則嘅 There is no strict guidelines. Okay? About the temperature, about the date and times, alright? So you cannot tell very accurately, okay? In other words, these methods are less accurate, okay? So in this case, 我哋就講到啲乜嘢啊 The effectiveness is very low, actually the lowest among all the contraceptives. OK 喺咁多種避孕方法入邊咧，sorry contraceptives 喺咁多種嘅避孕方法入邊咧係最低㗎啦。OK so this one also try to get the main idea and put down the keywords 係啦 because ovulation 啦同埋 length of your menstrual cycle 啦 may differ OK they may differ they may vary OK vary 即係會改動㗎啦 therefore the time cannot be determined very accurately 或者啦，呢個 Reproduction method 啦 is not reliable， OK 係唔可以依賴、唔可以信賴嘅。OK so last thing is that 嚟啦 the next one is very common OK and this one is the barrier method 咁第一個啦 this one barrier method barrier that means 障礙物 alright 有一種嘅屏障嘅 alright and this one very often 你哋都會聽到啦就會 condom 啦 so there is actually a male condom and a female condom so definitely female condom is a lot less common OK 好啦咁由 male condom 係啲咩嚟嘅咧 it is just like a rubber sheath sheath 咧 you will need to know this word I think in chapter 14 so you will learn about this word anyways so sheath 係一個鞘啊即係叫出劍出鞘嘅鞘啦 OK let's see if I can type it wait a second yes this one okay so it's like rubber sheath just like rubber pocket okay so it wraps okay 佢 worn over 咗啦即係 wear 呢個字啊 okay it worn over your erect 嘅 penis 啦 before sexual intercourse okay 佢就會咁當然啦 it can be wrapping around your penis 啦或者呢一個嘅 vagina 嘅 inserted into the vagina as well 嘅 before sexual intercourse 啦咁 in the end 啊就發生咩事咧 the semen is trapped inside the condom 啦然後啦 sperms 係 prevented 嘅就會 enter 唔到呢一個嘅 uterus 啦 sperms are prevented to enter the uterus alright 咁similar thing 啦 happen to female condom 啦就係因為 you put this female condom into the vagina before sexual intercourse right so the semen will also be trapped in the female condom But another thing is that 另外一樣嘢啦，就係 they often has 一個 spermicide， 自己讀到啦 ，spermicide 殺精劑。Okay, so they have this spermicide on the condom. Therefore, this spermicide will kill all the sperms there. Okay, but one more basic common knowledge, okay, is that after sexual intercourse, or maybe say after ejaculation, so the erectile 射完精之後啦 the erectile tissue 嗰個勃起組織咧 will get softened. So somehow we also need to make sure that our partner will take out his penis after sexual intercourse, because otherwise, if the erectile tissue is softens, okay, 當佢軟咗落嚟之後咧，the semen may from in the condom, the semen in the condom may also leak out， 亦都會有可能會漏翻出嚟嘅。And in that case, there is some news that this will lead to pregnancy. Okay, 咁就 just be aware of this. Okay, so male condom is put on, worn over your penis, and the female condom will be inserted into the vagina. Okay, so 另外一樣嘢啦，就係 using the condom and using condom 咧 actually 可以 provide protection， 可以 prevent 到啲乜嘢咧？就係呢啲嘅 sexually transmitted disease， 自己讀啦 ，sexually transmitted disease。咁 STD 啦，咁當然你記呢個長者啦。Sexually that means 係用性去傳播嘅 ，transmit 係傳播咁解，等得通過性去傳播嘅 disease 啊。Alright， 例如啦，有呢個 syphilis 啦 ，syphilis 係一個梅毒啊，如果冇記錯係咪啊？ Syphilis 係梅毒啦 ，and AIDS AIDS 啦，成日都聽㗎啦，就係愛滋病病毒啦。Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Okay, so you see these two words again when we talk about the pathogens. Pathogen, we've talked about that in I don't know in the previous videos， 就係一啲嘅病原體啦。OK， 對於一啲嘅 sexually transmitted disease 咧 ，condom 亦都係 prevent 到嘅。OK， 所以尤其對於一啲when we are talking about having some unsafe 嘅 sex party 嗰陣時啦 ，OK， 咁 we always need to make sure that 有啲嘅叫做 sex buddies 嘅嘢啦 ，we need to make sure that they wear a condom all the time。OK， 呢個就係咁解啦。So this one, the effectiveness is higher. OK, so they are quite similar in terms of effectiveness. 好，另外啦，第三樣嘢啦 ，the third one. So this one is very similar to condom, except that this is not a rubber like condom, and this can be reused. OK， 好啦，嚟咯。So this one is also a barrier method， 亦都係另外一個屏障啦。This one we call them the diaphragms. OK， 我哋做中文就叫子宮毛啊 ，diaphragms. Okay, so this is a rubber cap. 佢係一個唔係咁薄嘅啦 ，so it's not a thin rubber, so it is a thicker rubber. So this diaphragm 佢係一個 rubber cap 啦，咁 also 佢都會有呢個 spermicide 嘅 to kill the sperm 啦。And it is placed over the cervix. 佢係擺咗喺個 cervix 前邊嘅。As you can see, it's placed here. Okay, and you can place it yourself. 你可以自己去做嘅 to prevent the sperm from entering the uterus 啦。Okay, therefore no fertilization can take place. And this diaphragm can be used for 2 to 3 years if cleaned and stored properly. 如果你清潔啊，你儲存佢哋正常嘅話 you can reuse this a lot of times. Okay, so this is the third method, also barrier. 好啦 until this moment it's quite easy. So just a very quick review. 第一樣嘢啦the first one is how to prevent ovulation. 當然啦，就係 eat something. 就呢一個就係 contraceptive pills 啦 ，OK， so that your ovary will not release the ovum, alright? And then we talk about how to prevent fertilization, and we talk about 3 methods. The first one is very unreliable 嘅啦，就係呢個 Griffin method 啦 ，alright? You can use 呢一個嘅 under it 啦，就會有呢個 calendar method 啊 ，temperature method 啊，甚至去 test 呢一個嘅 mucus 嘅 change 啊，得唔得 ？Alright? But this is not really reliable 啦。咁 we also talk about 2 barrier methods， 有2種 adding a barrier。咁第一個會係 condom 啦，會有 male-female condom 啦，或者 the next one we talk about 就係呢一個嘅 diaphragm 啦。佢哋 all of them will also have the spermicide to kill the sperms. Okay, this one, be careful. This one will be quite similar to contraceptive pills。呢一個簡單嚟講，中文嚟講就會叫做事後避孕丸。OK， 前邊嗰個我哋叫做避孕丸 ，contraceptive pills 係避孕丸，呢個叫 mini pills 係事後避孕丸或者解事後丸啊嘛。OK，so that means unfortunately your partner forgot to wear a condom and there are semen inside the female's body, but you don't want to get pregnant. What should you do? Okay, so the day after you carry out the sexual intercourse or ASAP, okay, right after sexual intercourse, you need to take this mini pills. 你要即刻去食呢個 mini pills 嘅 ，alright? Okay, so let's talk about this mini pills. So mini pills 咧其實都會有呢個 synthetic 嘅 sex hormones， 但係 at a low dose。low dose 係咩意思啊？dose 即係代表劑量。Okay, so what are they doing? They are actually thickening the cervical mucus。佢令到呢一個嘅子宮頸嘅 mucus、cervical mucus 啊係 thicken。OK， 令到佢係夠厚 ，so that the sperm cannot get through the cervix and reach 呢個 uterus 啊 ，and meet with 一個嘅 ovum 啦。OK， this is only what I heard. I'm not very sure. But when we talk about side effects, of course they have similar side effects as the contraceptive pills 啦，同個避孕丸有類同嘅副作用啦 side effects 啦。But it seems that this mini pill 事後丸咧會 have even stronger side effects than the contraceptive pills. Okay, so you can tell me if you have heard of any stories about this. 咁然後啦 ，so how does this do？ 就係佢會 thicken 呢個 cervical mucus 啦，然後就會 prevent sperm from entering 呢個 uterus 啦。Remember, you also need to know the mechanism。你要知道嗰個機制嘅。How does the contraceptives work？ 佢點樣去進行嘅 ？Alright。And then the last method, once and for all, like 100%, nearly. Okay? So this is the surgical method. Okay? 咁講完呢一個嘅barrier method 啦，講完 hormonal method 啦，就當然有 surgical。surgical method, this word comes from the word surgery. surgery 即係代表手術啦。Okay? So you can also carry out surgical method. 咁 there are two very difficult words. 我哋叫做 vasectomy and tubal ligation. vasectomy, tubal ligation. 好啦 vasectomy, what word is it related to? Of course, 就會係 vas deferens 啦。Have you forgotten already? vas deferens. 我應該冇算錯喎。Let me check a bit, sorry. So vas deferens, oh, I got this wrong. Okay, so vas deferens is the sperm duct. Alright, so you use this surgical method to cut the vas deferens. Okay, and tubal ligation, very similar, but this time it's not the vas deferens, but this time it's the oviduct. Okay, you will block your oviduct. 好啦，咁然後再講啦喎。So this surgical method 呢兩隻啦 vasectomy 同埋呢個 tubal ligation 啦，係一個 permanent method 嚟嘅。permanent 即係代表永恆嘅。Alright, forever. To sterilize 令到佢絕育。To sterilize 自己讀一讀啦 ，sterilize men and women 啦 ，so that they will no longer have babies. Okay, so in the next page we're going to talk about some method, also very safe, but it's not permanent. Okay, very similar to vasectomy. 好啦，咁 when we talk about vasectomy, so it's like tie and cut 呢個係 vas deferens. Okay, 呢兩隻字 these two verbs you need to write it out. tie and cut 得唔得？會結紮咗啦，同埋切除咗嘅呢一個嘅輸精管啦 vas deferens, so that it cannot be transferred to female body. And then similarly for tubal ligation 都係啦 tie and cut 呢個 oviduct 啦 ，so that the ovum will not be able to meet the sperm. Okay? 好啦 and then the next thing we are going to talk about the effect 佢哋嗰個影響啊 the effect. So this time only the vas deferens 啦係 tied and cut， 但係啦其實 the other part of 呢個 reproductive system 咧係 continue to work 嘅，會繼續運作嘅。Okay, so what will happen? First of all, will there be production of sperm? Yes, because 邊個負責 ？Which structure produce sperm? The answer is testis. Okay? Except that 另外一樣嘢啦 ，will there be semen? There will also be yes. There will also be there is semen. Except the thing is with no sperm. Okay? So after you carry out this vasectomy, you will still produce semen but no sperm. 好，繼續咯喎。And then you will still be able to produce male sex hormone because again it is produced by testis， 都係由呢個 testis 去做出嚟嘅啦。And then since you have male sex hormone, you will also have secondary sexual characteristics. OK， 好啦，而記住咯喎 ，since they are hormones， 由於佢哋係 hormone 嚟嘅啦 ，they are transported to blood to all parts of body. OK，they are not transported by ducts， 唔係跑一啲管道嘅。And erection of penis, that is totally not related because it only depends on your erectile tissue and your blood vessels. Okay? And of course, you will still be able to carry out ejaculation. 你仍然能夠射到精啦 but this time the semen has no sperm again. Okay? Oviduct 都係 very similar 嘅，咁 the other part of reproductive system 啦 also continues to work 啦，然後啦 what will happen 你仍然都會 you will also produce ova, you will also have female sex hormone. Since you have female sex hormone, you will also have secondary sexual characteristics and menstruation. Okay? The last thing is that you will also have ovulation. And some of you are quite creative to think that hey, if there is keep on ovulation happening, what will happen? So, this part of the oviduct will be packed with ova. 就會有太多嘅 ova 塞住咗。Okay? It is only a cell, and it will die and break down like any body cell. 得唔得? It will not stuck at your oviduct. Okay? So after some time, the ovum release will die. Okay, so that's all I'm trying to say. 好啦 okay? And then the last part, this is quite a stupid but lovely question. And it is that, why is cutting and tying not done on the urethra to sterilize a man? And the answer, please tell me in class. If you are unable to tell me, then I'll laugh at you. Okay? 好嚟啦 So, and then this time we're talking about the reversible. 係一個可以逆轉嘅，自己讀到啦 reversible. So in UNO we often place reverse， 啱嘛？又會一張卡啦 UNO 入邊叫 reverse 噶嘛 ，OK 就逆轉啦。OK, so this reversible male sterilization method， 咁就 very similar to vasectomy 啦。vasectomy 係 permanent 嘅，但係啦 this one is reversible. How is it reversible？ 睇一睇啦。其中一種 one method 就係點咧 ？Insertion， insert 即係代表 insert 係植入。塞入去嘅 of a pair of plugs，plugs 係一啲嘅掣啦，得唔得？或者一啲嘅活塞啦，我哋講活塞 ，alright。So this plug is the intravas device (IVD) 啦。You do not need to remember this, OK？ 咁就會 this plug 啦會 enter your vas deferens， 佢會直入咗入去啦。And this plug will block the sperm from going up。你嘅 sperm 唔會上到去 ，but still。The semen will be produced by these three glands. Okay? 仍然都會由呢啲去 produce 嘅。Okay? So, the sperm will not be able to get there. Also, 除咗啦 other than blocking 呢個 transfer of sperm 之外啦 it can also 就係有呢個 spermicide 嘅。Okay? 佢亦都 it may also contain some spermicide 或者呢個叫做 spermicidal gel 啦，就So once the sperm encounter 遇到一個 spermicidal gel 嗰陣時咧 so it will die. Okay? So how is this reversible? 點樣可以逆轉啊 ？Because it can be resumed. 佢能夠去復原翻啦 ，resume 翻啦。If you remove the plug 或者 dissolve 咗呢個 gel 啦。Okay? So this is all the 5 methods for preventing fertilization. OK， 咁你見到啦，後邊嗰啲啦就會相對地 starting from a condom, it starts getting more reliable. Okay, so 2 condoms, one similar is the diaphragm, and then 一個就係事後丸啦。So similar to contraceptive pills, but we call them mini pills. And then the last one, permanent, 就一啲嘅 surgical method，包括 vasectomy 同埋 tubal ligation 啦。Okay， 然後啦 ，this is just to tell you that there is a reversible alternative， 一個另外一個方法啦 to your vasectomy。Okay， and then the last one 就會叫做 prevent implantation 啦。Okay， 點樣 prevent implantation 啦？就會有一個嘅呢個 IUD intrauterine device， 識斬字啊 ，try to divide the word. So intra means inside your body. Okay, so try to put this down. Intra means inside your body. And you have often heard a word called inter. Inter is between bodies. For example, international 就係 between nations. Nation means countries， 係唔同國家之間嘅。OK， 所以 inter 係解之間 ，intra 係 inside， 得唔得 ？OK， so this IUD intrauterine device 係解一部儀器啦。So it will be placed inside your uterus， 就會 inside your uterus 嘅。但係 this time it will not be done by yourself， 係 by doctor 嘅 to prevent pregnancy。OK， Okay, so it's like made of plastic mostly. You can see the white region is a plastic, and then there is a copper wire. Copper 係銅嚟嘅 Okay, so what is the function of this copper wire? 佢有冇寫到咧？No, you can put this down. The copper wire is quite important because 因為呢個嘅copper wire 即係銅線啦 ，it can cause 導致到嘅 inflammation. Okay, inflammation 係解發炎。Okay, it can cause inflammation 啦 ，therefore it is toxic to 一個 sperm and ovum 嘅。OK， 佢會係對佢哋嚟講啦係有毒嘅。OK，and therefore 簡單嚟講啦，呢一個嘅 uterine lining 啦 will become unstable for implantation to take place。OK， 成個環境啊會係 unstable 嘅，得唔得？Okay, so let's continue. This method, the IUD intrauterine device, will prevent the implantation. Okay, and then it can be put for a very long time, 4 to 10 years, and this is a long-term contraceptive method. But if you want to remove it, 如果你想移除返嘅話咧 you can also find a doctor. Okay. Somehow 呢一個 IUD 咧會導致到一啲嘅 ethical concern。自己讀一讀啦 ，ethical 係解道德嘅一啲嘅考慮啊，得唔得 ？ethical concern 啦 ，because they think that the IUD 其實已經係一個 early abortion， 自己讀一讀啦 ，abortion 就係墮胎啊 ，OK？Because somehow the embryo is already formed. Where does fertilization takes place？ 佢會 take place here 噶嘛 ？So in case 呢一個 fertilization does take place， 如果假如真係 take place 咗 ，OK？So it will enter here, but then the copper wire 係令到呢個 uterine lining 係 unstable, therefore 係 prevent your implantation. But somehow the embryo has already been formed. 得唔得 ？Okay, but this is like depends on different people. Okay, so that's all for all the contraceptives. 就係所有嘅避孕方法啦。And please finish this one yourself. And the last part is this page. This one is once tested, not in DSE, but tested in your exam. So you can look at it yourself. I'll go through this one with you later in class. Okay, this one is quite important because it's comparing human and flowering plants. How are they similar and different in sexual reproduction? Okay, so try to, before looking at this page, okay, if you want to challenge yourself, 如果想挑戰下自己嘅話咧 try to go through chapter 12 and chapter 13 about the sexual reproduction, and then try to think of the points yourself. 試下自己諗一諗啲 points 先，得唔得？ You need to start training your essay writing, okay? And or if you don't want to challenge as much, 如果你覺得太難嘅 you can also go through this page once first. 自己睇一次。然之後 go through chapter 12, chapter 13 again, and try to think if you can put down all the points， 試下記一記翻，諗一諗你能唔能夠寫得出所有嘅 points 啊？得唔得 ？It's not recite, okay? This part you do not need to recite. It's about thinking. 你要去諗嘢嘅。Okay, so that's all for this video, and that's the end for chapter 13. I hope you enjoyed this chapter very much, and I believe this one is the last video I give you before August. Okay, so please enjoy your summertime, work hard for biology, and I hope in August, before September, we can finish chapter 13. Okay, so please work hard and find me if you have any questions anytime through Teams or even IG. Okay, so I'll see you and bye bye.